This is CBS.
Now available to rent. It's Sarah.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back, my friends. I'm Tom. This is the simulcast up and running now for the 26th of July, 1995. Do you realize that 5 months from tonight will be the night after Christmas? It'll all be over. Fyvush Finkel, the Emmy Award-winning actor from Picket Fences here on CBS, is joining us tonight. You'll remember this man who absolutely brought the Emmy Awards to life last year with his speech of acceptance that was so kind and so enthusiastic and so genuine. And he's here tonight to talk about what has happened to him ever since he won the Emmy Award. As a matter of fact, I remember asking him the night after on the old NBC show, I said, what did you do after the Emmy Awards? And he said, when was that? I said, it was around 8-ish, 5-ish. Remember? It was very funny then. Ward Connerly is here tonight, a man who had a hand in repealing affirmative action at the University of California at Berkeley during a very controversial period last week, attended by many civil rights backers, including the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and Raymond Donnelly tonight live from Washington, D.C. on the eve of the opening of the Korean War Memorial. That'll be tomorrow, and they expect 250,000 people to be there. So a preview of tomorrow's events on the simulcast tonight. What will they think of next? You know, I sat in amazement with Michael Horowitz and Tammy Haddad and all the folks in the control room watching Bon Jovi on Dave's show tonight. Did you see that? They had the band out on West 53rd Street, and if you live around the country, you may not realize that they do that show at 5:30 in the afternoon in New York. It is the height of the afternoon rush hour, and it's also matinee day in New York today. Wednesday is theater matinee day in Manhattan. And I wonder if all the people who were trying to get to the West Side Highway on 53rd Street today were as thrilled with the Bon Jovi concert as the folks at the Ed Sullivan Theater. Yeah. Speaking of Dave, they ran a very nice ad for Dave. Did you see this in the papers this weekend in full color? This is Dave with the map of the United States, great big smiling picture of Dave, America's #1 late-night entertainment. I don't see anything there about any shows that would come on after Dave, though. You know, usually, like, you know, they mention Jay Leno and the other shows. Here, I guess there aren't. No, maybe the ad's coming out with me carrying Alaska and Hawaii. And Green Bay. You know, through my life, people have heard me say things, and they've misunderstood what I meant. For example, I often say here, in fact, I always say here, fire up a simultini or a color-tini and watch the pictures as they fly through the air. And somebody sent in the Parade magazine from last Sunday that appears in newspapers around the country. And somebody wrote a letter in. Let me just share it with you. It's very short. Before the first commercial on Tom's Late Late Show, he often says, so settle back, fire up a simultini, and watch the pictures fly through the air. Is he encouraging viewers to use marijuana? Jeez, and the man who wrote the column, he says, no, Tom's show is simultaneously on both TV and radio, which is called a simulcast. Simulcast in the parlance of showbiz. Snyder created the signature greeting as a way of telling his radio and TV listeners that they can enjoy his simultini, a blend of the words simulcast and martini, which is his way of encouraging fans to enjoy his show. God, this is a long letter. It goes absolutely nowhere. With a legal mood-altering substance. And it's just a little example of how people misunderstand what I say when I'm just kidding around. Now, for years on radio, and you've heard me say it here, I say, sleep tight, North America. One night, a guy called me on radio. He says, are you encouraging people to go to bed drunk? Jeez. Back in the old days of sailing, they had hammocks in the ships, and the idea was to wind the rope tight, to sleep tight, so you wouldn't get thrown out at night. Didn't your mother say to you when you were a kid, sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite? That's the same thing. And now tomorrow I'll get letters about bugs. Fyvush Finkel, on about 1:45-ish. Watch the pictures as they fly through the air. Fire up the simultini, and thanks for watching, everybody. Finkel touched all of us with his gracious acceptance speech after winning the Emmy for Best Supporting Actor in the dramatic series Picket Fences last year. It's always a delight to see this man, and we're happy to welcome him to our show here at CBS. Thanks for coming over, Fyvush.
Thanks for inviting me.
Great to see you again.
Pleasure.
We were just sitting here talking about the fact that you can generate a lot more income in television than you can in theater.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you amazed by the money that you make for television?
Oh, certainly I'm amazed, because you can't do that on the stage.
No, no.
On the stage, if, for example, unless you're the big one, the mighty one, you're going to get those
El Grande,
figures. Yeah, but on television, a supporting actor makes very
good cash.
Very good.
Yeah,
you know, I don't want to admit what I make.
I'm not asking you that,
I have relatives. You know what I mean? I don't want them to get wise.
Right,
I have
got
a
you.
brother-in-law too, you know. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, right. How has your life changed since winning the Emmy Award,
Oh,
if at all? Does it change your life?
It changed for the better.
Oh, I'm sure, but how?
Oh, it changed. But the Emmy show, a billion people have watched that show.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? All over the world. And you get a lot of letters, you know, of congratulations. My suite where I live, when I opened the door the next day, I thought I was in a hospital. Flowers all over the place, baskets, candy, letters, congratulations. You go on the street, everybody goes over to you. There's nothing like it, really.
Somebody told me a story about you. In fact, it was Michael Horowitz, my producer, who goes to the Synagogue for the Performing Arts.
That's right.
At the Beverly Hilton Hotel.
Right.
And the shul by the pool. And
I was lucky they were open for the holidays. Sure.
And the rabbi said, you know, if anybody has any good fortune to tell, and you got up and say, what did you say?
I didn't get up right away. Yeah. He said, before we start the ceremonies, he said, the services rather, this was between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Right.
And we arrived before Yom Kippur to start the Yom Kippur holiday. And he said,
which, by the way, is a very serious holiday.
Oh, a very serious holiday.
Yeah. Not a lot of laughs on Yom Kippur.
Well, we managed to get one or two, you know. So, but the idea was, the rabbi said, anything good happened to any of our people here in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, silence. And my wife said, get up, get up, get up. What are you sitting there for? And I stood up. It was pandemonium all over the place. That's a night I'll never forget as long as I live. Neither will my wife. Well, she doesn't forget anything anyway, you know. She has a very good memory. Trudy is a wonderful woman. You know, you're invited to our golden wedding anniversary.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah, in fact, I invited the world. but you're going to be one of our honored guests.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, will you be a presenter this year at the Emmy Awards? It's customary for the man
to come
back and give for Best Supporting Actor.
If they'll invite me, which I hope they do, the publicity people are working on it, I hope. I would feel a little slighted if they didn't.
Sure.
But I would be very honored to present, you know, an award.
Best Supporting Actress, I believe.
And naturally, you do the opposite gender, the Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
Though in Hollywood, you can't tell. You see, so I would be honored to do that, you know.
What about job offers? Do you get job offers?
Oh, I did a movie for Oliver Stone.
Oh, I know. The Nixon movie.
The Nixon movie, yes.
Murray Schotner, who was one of Nixon's aides, right?
In fact, I met Murray Schotner's son, who is a criminal judge, a judge in the criminal court here. In other words, Simpson is this on the second floor, and he's on the third floor. And a lovely gentleman. He came and had lunch with me, with my publicist, Chuck Panama, and I gave him a plug, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And how do you call it?
And I just won $25.
You see, good things happen for people that wait.
I saw Chuck inside. He says, he'll never mention my name. I says, 25. Says, you're wrong.
He's all right. At any rate, if I don't mention my family, I'm finished. My career will be over.
So now you're working on this movie.
I just had a cameo. They call it a cameo nowadays. Years ago, they called it small parts.
A bit part, yeah.
Yeah, but a cameo because he takes stars and he puts them together. But in Picket Fences, that really changed my life completely for the better.
Let me ask you here about working with Oliver Stone. What is that like?
Oliver Stone, I was a little disappointed. I thought it was a violent man.
Really?
Yes. A yeller, a screamer. No, he's quiet. He's wonderful. He's sociable. You feel like doing anything for that man. He was a delight, a real delight.
And why would you think he would have been something other than that? Because
I never met the gentleman.
Oh, I got you.
I watched his pictures, The Natural Born Killer. I watched Platoon. I watched most of his pictures that he ever directed. And you would think that he was that type.
Oh, explosive. In other words.
Explosive, you see, and he wasn't. He's very, very gentle and kind.
And did you have many scenes with Sir Anthony Hopkins?
Oh, I had about 3 scenes with him, yes. And there's another fine gentleman.
Isn't he a terrific guy? Yeah.
A terrific man. I asked him a question. I made believe I was ignorant. And I asked him a question. You were knighted, weren't you? He says, yes, the Queen knighted me. I'm Sir Anthony Hopkins. I said, is that an honor? He says, the greatest honor that can be bestowed on any artist. I said, you know, in America, they call that an Emmy. He loved it. He got an Emmy, too, anyway.
The last time we talked, we spent a little time talking about you as a young boy. You were 9 years old when you first began to sing for your supper. You sang at weddings and bar mitzvahs and stuff.
I sang all over. I was in the theater, in the Yiddish theater, which was really more than half of my life, from 9 years old till I was 43. And when I was a kid, I had a soprano. And the biggest highlight of the show was there was a wedding ceremony on the stage. That was in every show. Boy gets girl, boy loses girl, but comes back again with a mother-in-law. You see, that was the whole show.
Gotcha, yeah.
And I was in the box seat. And during the ceremony, the spotlight went right on the box seat, and a little kid in knickers,
little Fyvush,
little kid with a Buster Brown look.
Yeah.
And he sang "Oh Promise Me" and stopped that show cold.
Yeah.
I got $1.
And that was you?
That was me. $1 a night.
How many times a night? How many times a week?
9 times a week. In the Yiddish theater, we never had a day off. We played every day, twice Saturdays and twice Sundays. We played them all. And that's been going on for a long time. And our seasons were 45 weeks. Then when I saw it went down to 14 weeks in the 60s, due to the fact that many people moved to different areas, and I got the call to do Fiddler on the Roof. That was my first American play. Though I was born here, I was 43.
We are with Fyvush Finkel, the actor who's one of the stars of Picket Fences, the Emmy Award winner Fyvush Finkel. We're at 800-952-2788. We're coming back after these messages. We're
Instead of interest, you see?
We're just talking about money again. Give the line when you reach your age.
Sure, when you'll reach my age, they won't pay you interest on your money. They pay you storage.
When I get to be your age, I want to just count all day. You know,
oh, you'll have plenty of time. if you don't do a series, you have plenty of time. You know, I thank David Kelly for doing what he did for me. I really do.
But just 7,952,321.
A man with 6 million is as happy as a man with 7 million. You know that.
Exactly correct. I said that just the other day. Exactly. Yeah, I'd hate to go back to that, but I know what you mean. Here's Sandy in Clearwater, Florida. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I wanted to know, he's such a delightful man, and I'm a geriatric nurse, and I wanted to know if it wasn't better now that he's older, that he's gotten such recognition for his acting than when he was younger trying for it so hard.
Well, it's a different style of acting. I can do the same thing. I just did a public broadcasting thing of a song. They wanted me to do a song that I did 50 years ago.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. It's the way I wear my clothes. And you see, and that song was called I'm a Border by My Wife. In Yiddish, Ich bin a Border by mein Weib.
Yeah.
And I sang it 50 years ago.
How does it go?
Ich bin a Border by my Weib. Oi Männer, is du satire job. I sang it 50 years ago. I recorded it.
Yeah.
And they found it and they wanted me to do it again. And I did it with the same arrangement that was written in the same key.
Yeah.
And then I got so enthusiastic, I started dancing. I'll tell you, the stage does that to you.
Yes, it does.
It
yes,
certainly
it
does.
But the question she asked, isn't the recognition and the award all the more sweet?
It is more sweet.
Because it comes after so many years of working so hard.
It's never too late, and you really appreciate it more. If you get it later in life, you appreciate it more.
I know.
You know, and, oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you see, when I was 70, when I got the series, I only had a contract for 7 episodes. I figured, let me do it and I'll go home. But thank God, the roll caught on or whatever, and I did all the episodes. Now we're into the 4th season. It's never too late. I keep telling youngsters, keep going, keep going. When you'll be 70, you'll be a hit.
Yeah. Sandy, I'm glad you called. Very good question. Thanks for watching our show.
Thank you, Sandy. Be
and
well.
you're getting better, too, Tom. As age goes on, I've been watching you for years.
Thanks,
Bye.
Sandy. Goodbye, Sandy.
You see?
That's sweet, though.
As you get older, you get better.
Did you ever learn a trade of any kind just in case?
I went to a vocational high school.
Right.
When my voice changed.
Oh, you couldn't sing the wedding song anymore.
No, I couldn't.
No,
my voice changed.
You know, back in the old days, no, never mind.
I wanted to learn a trade.
Yeah.
So I know what kind of work I'm out of. You see, that's exactly what I did. I never worked at it, though. As soon as I graduated high school as a furrier.
You're kidding. You were going to make fur
I was
coats.
going to be a furrier to make mink coats and things like that, but I never worked at it. I got a job in Pittsburgh on a cooperative plan in a Yiddish stock company. They had a Yiddish theater there, and they needed a young man. And sure enough, I grabbed at that job. It was a cooperative plan. You know what that means? When the producer takes off all the expenses, the profit he shares with the company. And
it's amazing how those expenses pile up, isn't it?
Well, nobody came. I mean, at the beginning, and I've asked him, why? Where the shows are very good. Where is your public?
Yeah, where'd they all go?
My public is an experimental public. The people here want to see how long an actor can act without eating. You see, if my father wouldn't send me the money every week, I could never stay there.
Got it. Lynn in Davenport, Iowa.
Okay.
Hello.
Huh?
Hi, Lynn. It's Tom. How are you?
Fine, Tom. Hello from Davenport, Iowa.
Greetings,
Davenport,
Davenport.
Ivanville.
Yes. Hi, Mr. Finkel.
Thank you. I'm fine.
I'm glad. I just wanted to ask, what do you feel is your greatest accomplishment in your life?
My family. My
Wonderful.
wife, Trudy, let her live and be well, and my children, Ian and Elliot, and my grandchildren. It's only an hour show. I can't give you everybody in my family will run out of time.
And I hear you're...
Let them live and be well.
I hear that you're awaiting your second great-grandchild.
That's
tonight.
right. We're waiting.
Trudy's back in New York,
that's
right?
That's why my wife is in New York.
Yep.
And Trudy is waiting. And I'm also waiting.
Right.
And I told my grandson, from here on in, drink Ovaltine.
Congratulations on your newest great-grandchild, Mr.
Thank you,
Finkel.
my dear. Thank you
You're
very
a
much.
wonderful actor, and we love you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
By the way,
Bye-bye.
Lynn, can I tell you something? Because I know this man a little bit.
Yes, Mr. Finkel.
He loves you back a great... He loves
Pardon
you
me?
back... Lynn?
Yes?
He loves you back a great deal.
Well, we love you, Tom.
Oh, thanks.
You're great, and I love your show.
Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Be well.
Do you now that you've won the Emmy Award, do you
Yes.
would you have to do an audition if you went out for a part?
I don't audition.
Oh, you really?
I don't audition. I haven't auditioned in 5-6 years.
Really?
Because when I audition, I don't get the job. I keep yelling at them, take a chance.
Yeah, take a chance.
Take a
right.
chance. I don't audition. I'm sorry. You want to see my work? I tell them the show where I'm in, and they come in, and a lot of them resent that. A lot of producers resent that.
I know
but they
they
got to
do.
get their jollies. We got to have the actor audition so we can turn them down.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They're not going to do that with me. I don't audition. That's the way I do business.
That's right.
I didn't audition for picket fencing.
Darn right.
I got it.
And you got the Emmy, didn't you?
Yeah, I got the Emmy.
Yeah.
Now I have to audition to be a presenter.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No,
Well,
I mean, the way it looks.
They know what they can do, don't they?
Well, certainly. Yeah. I don't audition for anybody. Why should I?
You know, it's amazing. In the audition, you have to be better than you ever have to be once you get the job.
When you audition, it's terrifying.
It's awful.
I wonder how actors can do that. It is so terrifying because you're not selling a suit or a tie or a shirt. You're selling yourself.
That's right.
And you feel very bad when you're turned down and things like that. In the Yiddish theater, they didn't allow auditioning because the old-time actors, they would kill you if you would ask them to audition.
Yeah.
So the union passed a rule, if you want an actor to audition, you got to pay him a week's wages. I said that when I joined Equity. I said, that's a wonderful rule. They thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
They want to audition. Good luck to them.
You ever travel Sunset Boulevard?
Oh, but I'm on the wrong side of the street. Hugh Grant made it. He did all right, you know. Where I live in Sunset Boulevard, it's too nice, you know what I mean? And then again, if it happened to me, nobody would have believed it. So I'm safe all around.
Yeah, but every guy over 70 in America would have gone, yes!
I would have been so flattered, I would have admitted it. But however, jokes aside, nowadays it doesn't matter anyway, really it doesn't. People will see your films. It isn't like it was 50, 60 years ago.
What's that, the films?
The films.
Oh, I mean, you were talking about Sunset Boulevard.
No, I'm not talking about Sunset Boulevard. I mean the street. In general, I mean, if it would have happened 50, 60 years ago, I don't think anybody would go to see his films. But today, they're more popular than ever.
I know.
It's a different era.
It is always a joy to see you, my friend. I hope we'll see you on the Emmy Awards. And please send the invite to the 50th, because I will be there.
Oh, I want you to be there. And it's my honor to be on your show, Tom.
And I mean what's the song you used to sing at the weddings?
Oh, Promise Me.
I'll sing Oh Promise Me for you and Gertrude.
Oh, that would be great.
After a couple of pops.
That would be great, really.
Yeah, Fyvush, Finkel, Picket Fences on CBS, new season this fall. Next, Raymond Donnelly and the Korean War Memorial from Washington after these messages. My
Mr. Eisner, Mr. Murphy, it's quite a deal. Why did you decide to make it?
Well, we think it's good for our companies, we think it's good for our shareholders, we think it's good for the public, and we certainly hope it's good for our employees like you, Cokie.
Well, that would be nice, Mr. Eisner.
I would confirm that. For our company, we're interested in continuing to be able to make family product and quality product, and as we go into the next century, we think the combination of ABC and its assets, particularly outside the United States, like ESPN, coupled with the Disney Channel around the world, gives us the ability to grow.
Congressman Markey, the ability to grow, is that something that you see as a positive thing or not a positive thing as you look there from Capitol Hill?
Well, this creates a multimedia magic kingdom for ABC and Disney, and that's good. And it potentially is very good for America as well. And so it's a good step, I think, all around. It's the next step that is most troubling. That is, whether or not this company merges with a huge telephone company or a huge cable company, whether or not they purchase dozens of additional television stations, newspapers, radio stations across the country. The pending bill before the Congress makes all of that possible. I think that that is dangerous because it could potentially collapse the diversity of voices which we have in America into the control of a few small small number of hands. But this merger itself, in and of it, as it stands alone, is a good thing for America, and I think that it could wind up improving American television.
Why? What's good about it? Bill Carter?
Well, obviously it creates an incredibly strong a company that can be internationally exporting American entertainment products and you know, making American culture that much more widely seen. I think it's a very good match because it doesn't overlap a lot of very few assets overlap. There isn't, Mr. Eisner said there wouldn't be any significant layoffs and cutbacks, which we've seen in other mergers. So there are those positive aspects to it.
Mr. Eisner, several times today I've heard you talk about the international aspects of this. Has that been a key part of this in your thinking to sell Disney and sell what ABC has to offer abroad?
Well, more and more as I've traveled around and watched our company grow and expand, I have noticed that its expansion is outside the United States. People outside the United States love American movies, American television. When we go to China, they want family programming, they want sports programming, and it is the #1 export for our country. And this relationship between us and the assets of ABC, I think, gives us the ability to grow in a quality way. It also gives us the ability here domestically to continue to make the kind of high-quality product we make. You have to be a financially successful company to afford the kind of technology that we're now using in our animation and in our live-action movies. I think the ability to maintain ABC News, for instance, and the other ABC assets will be helped by our individual efforts. And I am generally against bigness. I think that our company is still a family company. I worked at ABC for 10 years and certainly was a family company then. We think family company, but frankly, we have to be strong to be able to compete against everybody, not only the tens of people that compete domestically, cable and direct satellite and all that, but the major companies that are in France and Germany and elsewhere.
Family companies, but family companies with billions of dollars in assets. Congressman Markey, what does this mean for the little guy who's trying to compete? If it takes a merger of capital cities and Disney to be big enough to make it good, what happens to the little guy who's trying to get in?
Well, again, at this level, it's not troubling. It's when we hit the next stage, if they merge with a huge telephone company, a huge
and what does that do? What's so bad about that?
Well, what would happen is there would be a temptation on the part of the huge conglomerate to use access through the cable wire or the telephone wire when telephone companies get into cable to block out competing programming, to put it in a less advantageous position on the dial compared to the programming owned by that network, that conglomerate. So it makes it increasingly more difficult for the smaller producer, the smaller writer, creator, a smaller company, the smaller television station, the smaller newspaper, anyone who's in the creative business to have their ideas, their product given easy access to the public. Again, I want to restate that Tom Murphy and Michael Eisner getting together on this deal doesn't really raise that question. It's the next stage that raises all of these questions.
Bill Carter, you have to watch all of these things for a living. Do you see little guys there now? I mean, are we talking about some mythical America that is long gone?
You know, you really are in a lot of ways. The companies are very big now in the media business. There's an awful lot of consolidation already, and I think you'll see more reacting to this. That's one of the issues that this does raise, is that, you know, the other competitors out there are going to look at this and say, well, you know, I guess we better get bigger too, because this is a very powerful company that's been built here. And I think the other side of that is a technology that's changing, going to present the opportunity for those little guys. And there are little guys out on the internet doing these like soap operas that they concoct for themselves and things like that. And there are entrepreneurs out there that are trying to get in the business. But I do think the bigness is going to be the biggest thing in the media for the foreseeable future.
And the question of what that means for those of us who turn on our sets tomorrow morning or 20 years from now is what we'll talk about when we come back in a moment. And we're back with Tom Murphy, Michael Eisner, Congressman Edward Markey, and Bill Carter. Mr. Murphy, Congressman Markey has talked about problems with saying that this merger is okay, but if it goes on from here, if you decide to then buy phone companies, or everybody starts merging more of all communications, that could be a serious problem. Is that something you agree with?
Well, it depends on what you would merge with. But as far as this company, I certainly didn't merge this company in with Michael Eisner so he would go into the telephone business or the cable business or the hardware business. The Disney company is the greatest creative company, content company in the world, in my opinion. And the talent of Michael Eisner is such that that's what's the driving force behind is the creative effort of the company. And we're in the content business at Capital Cities, and so is the Disney company. So I don't think there's any fear. I think you should ask Michael, but I'm quite sure that he would agree with what I just said.
Well, should I ask you, Mr. Eisner?
I couldn't agree more. We've never been interested in the wires, the conduit to get to the public. We're interested in the creativity and the imagination.
But I gather from David Marish's piece you do own some phone companies.
No. We have a joint venture with 3 phone companies to supply the feel and the look of what is called a navigator, that which the public interfaces with the television through their phone, and to supply Disney family programming through their services. And that is a venture that right now has not one subscriber, and it is an experimental effort to see if there are additional ways to get into the home. Our company was a small company. It's a larger company today than it was 10 years ago, but our company has always been interested in making sure there are multiple ways into the home, and multiple ways into our theme parks and other things. So we're with Congressman Markey. If one supplier or one conglomerate owns all of the wires into a home, that would be a disaster. But that is not that is not likely in this country, I don't think.
Congressman Markey, does that do it for you?
Well, you know, I don't think that Michael Eisner and Tom Murphy want to merge with Time Warner, for example. But what if Westinghouse purchases CBS this week, and then they merge with Time Warner? What would that mean in terms of access into tens of millions of homes, in terms of the access that other programmers would have into American homes? So what I'm talking about here is not what is today, but what would be legalized after the bill, which we're going to be debating on the floor of Congress this week, becomes law. And who would be able to predict what would happen 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now if one or another of the chairs of any of the companies that we're talking about decided that it was in their best interest to partner with one of these companies that does have a bottleneck control over the 200, 300 channel universe going into every home.
Bill Carter, does that worry you? I mean, communications are different. There have always been different laws governing ownership of these companies than of other companies.
Well, it can become a serious issue. Obviously, if an individual community, you have one company that owns the only newspaper, that dominates the cable system, that owns a network, and has access to the phone company providing content, I think then you become, it raises real issues and questions. But I do think now, if you're going to raise the question of CBS and Westinghouse and Time Warner, I mean, if they're going to compete with Disney and ABC, these companies probably are going to have to get together in some fashion, because that's a very strong competitor now. And, you do want, competition in the marketplace, too. So it does make it very difficult if you're going to limit them and not make them able to do what other companies are doing. I mean, Fox has gotten an awful lot from the government and has been able to compete very effectively because of that. And I don't know how you can limit an American company when Fox has been able to do what it's been able to do.
So is that part of